What up, everybody? We just got in. Elliot's moving some dogs. I am trying to catch up to what's going on. If you're a dog person, you know that the mornings are very tough because you have to clean, walk, clean, feed, walk again. And yeah, that's what makes mornings so delightful as a dog trainer. Shit. Yes. Aggressive dogs. And being tired. The sun shepherds would also be great. Well, that's not a shepherd that's barking like that. That is an American bulldog, my friend. What's up, Marioch? I'm sure it's the same with horse people, right? Like Chelsea, you have to like clean horse shit before you do anything else. Gotta feed them. Yeah, poo picking, man. Poo picking. That's one of the things that a lot of dog trainers today don't understand is, excuse me, is that like you can learn so much from working. Kennels aren't kennels anymore, though. That's what's hard. I don't know. Different world out there for you kids. You damn kids. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. So it's 2021. COVID should be gone, right? Just like that, it's gone. We had basically a year of it. It should be gone. Isn't that what's supposed to happen? New year, new virus. What's going on there? Anybody? Bueller? It's filling up. I think we're simulcast on my YouTube channel. I think that's running. I'm not sure. I can give it a quick check. I'm waiting for Elliot to come up. Yeah, you got the notification. Okay, thanks, Chelsea. So, Diamond Daddy. Yes, YouTube is live. Okay. So Elliot and I, we had some long conversations about stuff, and there's kind of some stuff developing in the way we're going to present. Okay, so see how much. You see what I mean? It's very difficult to just put content out. And so I kind of want to talk to you guys about that, because if I put content out, by law, it's my bulldog, but I've had him for one day. It's very difficult to put proper content out because everybody's at different levels, and then everybody has different perceptions. I also worry a lot about putting out technique or what people perceive as technique, because if you have the wrong dog, you're not going to have the same result. And the other part of that too is that the touch that is involved with it. I sent Nikki and Cindy a video yesterday, and then I showed them a video I'm working on, and I decided not to pursue that video at this time because people look at what they see and mimic it. Thank you. People look at what they see and mimic it, and they won't understand that it's very specific to that dog, very specific to that handler, very specific to that time. So when people are looking for dog training, now it's crazy. I mean, it's really just crazy that people will look and then mimic, look and then mimic, look and then mimic. And you can be doing things that you think you're succeeding at, but you're actually just curb stomping yourself out. It's really hard for me to find that that sweet spot with content. So I don't want you guys to think that we're not trying really hard to put out content. I just want to be super responsible about it. And it's your communication on those videos that we put on YouTube. If you guys comment on them, it gives us a better idea of what you're thinking. I notice on Patreon, sometimes there's a lot of chat, sometimes a lot of chatter, and then sometimes it's just nothing. It's like thumbs up. Excuse me. I don't know what that means. Why not case studies on the dogs you're getting in? Not a how-to, more like a dog. Yeah, you know, we were just talking about that, Danny. So here's the deal. So the people with Swiffer, you know, the dog, his name wasn't Swiffer. We changed that to shit on Danny. But there's those people are watching. So when and the bulldog we just got, sometimes those people are watching. But what happens is we get the dog that nobody wants. We get paid to take the dog and work on it. And people say, well, why not a shepherd? Why not just show that like a docuseries? Because those people and their friends then get upset because they think that you're shitting on them. You're making me feel bad. I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to tell people that dogs are disposable, and people just don't realize that. People look at you and go, "I never get rid of my dog," and I have 2 of those dogs here. What's up, Domi? So it's the side chick thing again. You're always going to make someone upset when you're trying to fix something. You're just gonna do it. But then the other part of it is that you guys can watch that and have like a feel good moment where it's like, okay, look, this is great. This dog's improving. You know, Chris just got fucked up, and yet the dog is improving, and blah 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 blah. But then what do you learn? So I'm looking at things just very differently because what is it? Some of those people are on Patreon too, so there's no easy or tactful way to do it. No, there's not. And you know, Elliot's got a great story about that and how she got Harley. I mean, it's just brilliant. It really is brilliant. I'm gonna shut this light off. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's better. I was glowing, but it's the same thing with, you know what I was watching. I don't know if you ever seen it. I saw at first like reactions to music, like black people responding to Hall & Oates, and then you've got like just exposing the new culture to a different culture, and you get reactions. So they watch the video and you watch, they're like, holy fuck, like, or that sucks. That's what I would love to do with training videos. But then what happens? The fucking seas start to boil and everybody goes, oh, he's a fucking asshole. And it's not. It's the fact that there's so much content out there that we could break down and just talk about. But you can't do it. You just can't do it because everybody gets their panties in a twist about it. So it's a world where you can be very real with the dog. The dog is going to be the realest motherfucker you ever met in your life. But you can't get people to, there's ego, there's pride, there's fear, there's greed, there's all that shit that people start to get really butthurt about, that it's like a minefield. I mean, it really is. There's no really easy way when people are wrong, or people are doing something that's irresponsible, or people are doing something that's ignorant. There's no way you're not going to have a body count. What's up, Salad Spoons? So we were talking about this yesterday too, is that you do get aggravated. You do get aggravated. I'm not going to lie to you. I get aggravated. I think that's a great word. Frustrated, not bitter. I think when you start going down the bitter road, just get out, because that's not going to be anything. But watching all these dogs and all these dog trainers, like, I mean, I cannot believe how many people call themselves dog trainers and just don't know basic shit. Just don't know. And I don't blame them most of the time. What I do is I get very frustrated that someone walked into this industry and said, we can milk this cow on all 4 tits. We can get people to believe that, you know, all we'll do is like, what's that? That quadrants? All right, let's put that. That's a course. All right, what's this? Kennel cleaning? All right, that's another part of the course. Protection work, CPR, you know, and then they put that together and people pay a lot of money for that shit, and then they don't get what they paid for. I don't think people are going into those schools being evil. I think they're going in with hope. I think they're going in saying, this is great, I'm going to have a career, but they do not give you the tools you need. Going in misguided. Yeah. They don't give you the tools you need to even understand. And it's every dog is trained the same way. Every dog is trained the same way. So imagine my frustration. Human nature. Look at all the folks who made trillions off the back of COVID. Yep. Not saying it's right. Just, yeah. Well, but the problem with the dogs is that this is not like all the dog problems we have, completely fixable. All the human problems we have as it pertains to dogs, you're never going to fix it. Never. So when you get people who haven't even, there's people who are just guessing as they go and charging people a lot of fucking money because they're guessing as they go. I don't have a problem with that if you're under the tutelage, the guidance, the watchful eye of a mentor. But how many mentors are there? Really, how many mentors are there? Dog training has turned into professional basketball. Used to be a team sport. Used to be, you'd be coached. Now it's just all me. Like there's no defense and we just go and it's all let's make money. It's a different kind of world. The amount of advertising for dog training is clearly just focused on marketing. It's obnoxious. They sell it like it's so easy. I think you shared one last week. She's on my feet all the time. Yeah, but that's the sad part of it. Yeah, there was a veteran trainer who posted about counter conditioning on my group the other day and said, hopefully the dog understands. Hopefully? No. And that's the other part. Elliot, when we go home, we talk a lot. We talk a lot about dog training. And there, again, I have these stories that really happened. But if I tell the story, well, I guess I could change that guy's name. But someone's going to get butthurt. And really, doesn't it sound like, well, everybody sucks and I'm so great? No, I want everybody to be great. I really do. If you know me, you know that I want you to be great. Because in that moment where you hit it, and then the dog is like, boom, and you're boom. And I'm like, do you see that? Like, I am the happiest I've ever been in my life when that happens. Genuinely. And it's hard for people to not realize that it's all about money and that it's, it's craft. It's really, really just craft. And when you see people making money off lies, and it's about franchising. Jesus Christ. When I was working Marina, you said, let's go to lunch. That was that moment. Was that me? I was working Marina. Oh, that was my praise. Yeah, let's go. That was more for me than it was for you, Nikki. Because you're just going to eat grass. But you can't have a sense of humor in it. Here's the other part of that. What's professionalism now? What's professionalism? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We can get that done for you. This is not auto body shop. This is counseling. People are coming to you with real deep-rooted problems that the dog, because when you look at a dog that's having problems, it's about communication. Right? The dog is like, I don't know, I'm getting the wrong messages here. But the dog doesn't think it's getting the wrong messages. The dog just gets confused. Where people, there's some problems you're going to have to face with how you perceive the world if you're really going to fix the problem. But that's not dog training anymore. Dog training is do not address the human end of the leash with anything but absolute positivity. Can't do it. I can be gentle about it. What's up, EC? I can be gentle about it, but But like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want me to just treat the symptoms? Well, go somewhere else, because I don't treat symptoms. Do you want to just slap some electronics on the dog? Go somewhere else, because if I ever showed you how deeply that is fucked up to just rely on that device, it's fucked up. It's not opinion. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that you just slap this device on and go dance. And people go, well, that's not how it is. Yes, it is. And when you have a dog that's aggressive, or when you have a dog that's aggressive, or you have a dog you're training and you decide, I'm never going to correct this creature, never going to make it uncomfortable, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Because you have to learn your life lessons suck. That's where the boundaries are. If there's no boundaries, you become the boundary. You start. That's why I have a golden doodle downstairs that likes to take people's arm off when he's eating. It's fine, normal dog behavior, but it's gone on for 18 months. And on the other end of that, think about this now. On the other end of that, if they did obedience in a way that the dog understood, that problem may have taken care of itself. Does that make sense? Does that make sense at all? Oh, God, man. I am tired. Let's talk about that. The fallout from obedience becomes behavior. It's the behavior fixer. Yeah. I mean, it's very, very difficult to explain to people. Now, so here's the feedback problem is when we put up these, I'll throw something out there for you guys to kind of snack on, and then there's no comments. I'm not mad at you because I don't want to get annihilated either, and this is a public live. It's on YouTube and it's on Patreon. Everybody can see it. People don't feel comfortable because you're going to show what you know and what you don't know by asking the question. I'm not going to fuck you up. There's no way I'm going to fuck you up. I'm not going to be like, are you fucking dumb? Unless you're fucking somebody else up or you come in hot. But that's what I mean, is that we cannot speak genuinely about stupid. We cannot speak genuinely about dogs on a public venue. You can't do it. You can't do it because people are going to get, I don't fucking agree with that guy. Did you hear what I said? No, I just don't agree with you. I don't like how you look, you fat bald fuck. All right, well, that's good. He's rude to people. Okay, that's good too. Just change the channel. But how many people saw the corrections playbook on YouTube? You saw it, yeah. Okay, so I don't care if they get all over me about something I put out there. I don't care. I don't care if they break it down on other channels, as long as they're fair about it. What did you all think about that? Give me some details about what you think. Did you understand it? Did you? Yeah, you forgot. Jesus. Dominique, what the fuck? Just how complex talking about dog training is. Now imagine doing it. It's funny. Yeah. It illustrated what you talk about all the time. It isn't quick and one-dimensional. Well, there are people who believe it is. There are people who absolutely believe that they're just looking at the result. We just get the dog to sit at any cost. We bribe the dog to sit. Now you just practice it 100,000 times and you should have it. No. It's communication. And it's in a lot of ways more difficult than human communication, but in a lot of ways very much easier than human communication. So I was talking to Elliot last night, and I'll tell you this story. it's not just being a teacher, being a mentor is not just trying to make everybody feel good. My mentors didn't give a fuck if I felt good about something. They didn't care. They're like, do you see it? Yeah, let's move on. It wasn't about holding hands and singing Kumbaya with each other. It just wasn't like that. You wanted the information that they had. And it was, you wanted to do good. You wanted to, in the beginning, I think I was like, oh, well, I just want to do this right so I don't get yelled at or don't get, feel terrible. But then it changes and you turn into like, I see what this person did with a dog and I need to understand that. And that moment when you get it and you go, oh my God, I got it. You can't put a price on that. You can't do it. It's the greatest feeling in the world to me. It's the center of the universe. So just understand that going in. So anyway, I'm at a club in New Jersey. Yeah, when the dog gets it, it's like the best. Well, that's how you know you got it, because the dog has to get it before you get it. I was at a club in New Jersey, and we had my son's Dutch Shepherd down there. This is years ago, 5 years ago. And my son's Dutch Shepherd is not a killing machine. He's not a prey drive machine. You guys know Miggs. You know who he is. We got the dog out of a bad situation and got his trust back. And then my son, who is just the most neutral handler you'll ever meet in your life, I guarantee neutral, just rebuilt the dog, with my guidance. But yeah, my inner thighs know Miggs. That's right. So he bites hard, and it's just a dog who lives in my house who's under control. But if someone breaks into the house and the dog is deployed, someone's going to catch a bad one. So what's up, dude? What are we doing? Hey, doofus, come here. Yeah, buddy. So we have that dog, and my son wants to get some reps on a new decoy. That's a big thing. Like if you just keep having your dogs work your decoys, they become common to the sight sounds play. Can anyone else lose Chris? Can't see him. Yeah, Oklahoma. Anybody got me? What's going on there? Still good. Okay. Just refresh your page. You should be all right. So yeah, I'm back. So it's not, what I'm telling you is not a strong dog. So this guy who is a professional dog trainer and will not shut the fuck up, will not. So you see this wild insecurity coming out, going like, so that dog's this. I'm a certified decoy. I'm certified in PSA. I'm certified in this. Okay, so great. So he's just a chatterbox, and that's normal. People do that all the time. You just shut up. I just don't say anything. So he's sitting in a suit, certified PSA decoy, sitting in a suit in a chair, one of those folding lawn chair, cloth lawn chair things, like this. And I've got this girl, Emily, who looks like fucking, I don't know if you guys have been around long enough, you remember Emily. You can go back and see her. It's the cutest little thing you ever saw in your life. She's like seriously 4'10" and looks like Cindy Brady. Just the cutest thing you ever saw in your life. Just and smart and brilliant and very nice person. A little bit shy. And she's standing in front of me, about 4 feet in front of me. And because I can see right over her, and I'm watching my son work the dog with the decoy. So that's a different decoy. So my son gets to line of departure. The dog looks up, and I yell something to my son where I'm like, make sure you wait 5 seconds with that eye contact. And his dog breaks and looks at me, and the dog comes running over to me, but in a very social way. So I can read the dog. Emily can read the dog. I trust the dog. But the guy in the bite suit jumps up, gets behind Emily and puts her in front of him. He's wearing a bite suit. And the dog comes to me. You think I'm not going to say something? You think I'm not going to say something? You think I'm not going to go, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to put Cindy Lou Who, right in front of you? Quiet. Right in front of you? Hey, dude, you're new here, so I'm going to let it slide. But, you know, and you're going to put that defenseless person right in front of you with an 86-pound Dutch Shepherd that does bite work on the legs coming over. Your first instinct, certified PSA decoy, is to jump up, which is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Get behind Cindy Lou Who, which puts her at risk. It didn't, because everybody around us knew the behavior and knew what was happening with the dog. So people go, yeah, but Chris, but he didn't know that. He just grabbed that girl and put her in front of him. And I'm supposed to go, all right, so here's what you want to do. Like, the lesson is, you dipshit, in this order: the dog's safety, the crowd's safety, the handler's safety. That's what you do. But nobody taught him that. He just memorized the, you know, whatever fucking PSA bullshit that they did. And that's what he thinks being a decoy is. And this kid starts crying right in front of me. He's 30-something years old. And I'm like, he's like, you're making me feel bad. I'm like, good, don't do it again. Get out of the fucking suit. If you don't understand that, and you're going to grab a 20-something little girl and throw her in front of you, and you can't read the dog, you do not deserve to put that fucking suit on. You don't. Well, that makes me, I'm a certified. You should tell the fucking girl you just threw in front of you. I was like, what the fuck? So nobody is watching decoys. You go to see decoy camps now. They're throwing bags of fucking pots and pans at them and making them jog. It doesn't have anything to do with being nothing. Yeah. So I go back down there like 3 months later, end of the summer, and this guy is working on obedience, and I'm just watching. So he has bred a litter of Malinois puppies, and he's trying to sell them. So he's saying to me, he goes, you know, $2,200, and I'll give you a puppy. Well, first of all, if I give you $2,200, you're not giving me shit. I'm paying for it. He's like, well, these dogs are, you know, and he starts quoting pedigrees. And I said, look, I'm not a pedigree guy. I could care less. That's one of those things that you could take the greatest puppy in the world and put it with the shittiest handler, and they're going to wash the dog out. You take the shittiest dog and put it with the best trainer, and you're going to see a dog that looks like magic. You know what I mean? So you take a shitty Malinois puppy and put it with Francis Metcalf, the dog's going to look great. It's going to look great. And the opposite is true. So, so this guy says, yeah, I got this runt puppy. It's a cool little puppy. It has no food drive. No food drive. No food drive. The dog has no food drive. So the dog doesn't eat? No, he eats. Well, then he's got food drive. If he's eating, he's got food. Well, you know what I mean. No, I know what you said. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. Be thoughtful in what you're saying. So one of the things that he'd been doing with this little puppy, and this fucking puppy was tiny, man. It was the runt. It was tiny. Is that the dog has insane amounts of prey drive. Insane amounts. Like, it's ridiculous. Plus, he built it. So you got nature and nurture. So if someone's walking, this dog's just grabbing their pant leg and doing this, right? And that's they pet it and it's great. So what happens is anybody who has kids know that when kids are outside playing, they forget to go to the bathroom, and sometimes when they're little kids, they shit themselves or piss themselves because the priority is the play and the bodily function is there. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, same with marathon runners. Right. Your priority changes, right? People don't understand even human nature at a base level, right? So it brings this puppy out. It's got a fucking scar, big long scar down its face. And I just, does anybody know what happened? How that dog got that scar? Think about it. You can put it together as easy as pie if you really think about it. But people don't think. People, when they're trying to sell dogs, or people when they're trying to go, yeah, it's mama. That's right. That's exactly right. And that scar tells you other things too. That scar tells you that was a correction. Because if it was mama, and it turned out that it was, she could have killed this thing. But she was telling that dog not to do something. What do mama dogs tell puppies to do? Not much. What do they tell them not to do? What's the first thing they tell them not to do? Yep. Leave my titties. So what was the puppy doing when it got bit? Using its teeth for what? Nursing. That's right. Nursing. So what did she tell this puppy to do? Stop. So I said to this guy, this dog's been told not to eat in a very severe way. No, I've never corrected the dog. I said, I didn't say you corrected the dog. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, man, that dog was a run. So its food drive was very high because it has to fight these. And these other puppies were fucking massive. And I just said, that dog's always trying to fight for a meal. But by the time all the other puppies were getting weaned, this thing was like I need more. And so she was like, nope, dinner's closed. Because nature doesn't care if you're a runt. Doesn't care. Nature doesn't go, here you go. Let's just get used. Everybody stay away. That doesn't happen. Yeah, I just squeezed my titty right on the camera. So here's the deal. The mother said, just like that. And the puppy got a good nip, but it didn't go through the dog's skull. It didn't do this, right? And so the dog was like, all right, like that. Then the wet food comes over, so they're starting the weaning process. So now that dog's trying to get in to get some food. What do the brothers and sisters do? They fucking clobber it. Don't eat that. Eat when no one else is around and fucking scarf it down. If you follow the trail of breadcrumbs, that's what you're seeing. So I'm trying to explain this to this kid, and he's like, no, it just doesn't have food drive. I'm probably going to cull it. I'm probably going to put this dog down. I said, well, give it to me. And he goes, well, I'll get $1,800. I said, no, dude. I said, the dog has food drive. And I haven't seen the puppies. Okay? But this guy's been training dogs for 5 years, and he's certified, and he's great. Look, it's not a story about the guy. It's a story about greed. It's a story about ignorance. It's a story about trying to make a living at something you're not passionate about. It's a story about getting likes. It's a story about being dangerous. Yeah, you understand? So I said, I haven't seen this dog. I said, but I'm telling you that's what happened. And he's like, how do you know that? And I go, dude, the dog will tell you everything you need to know. So he brings his puppy out, and of course, he's so proud that this Malinois puppy is on his leg from the car, just doing this, punching it, doing this, punching it. It's like 11, 12 weeks old. And I go, well, there's your problem. Yeah, but that's everybody. EC, that's everybody. People sell dogs they don't want all the time. In fact, it's a used car lot. They won't give you a dog. They'll go, well, I'll sell it to you. Well, I put all this work in. Yeah, you put all this work in that made you want to sell it. So I want to pay for your shitty work and the dog that I have to unfuck? No, I'm not playing for that. So he brings the dog out. It's attached to his leg, and it's massive, and everybody's oohing and on. Oh, look at that! Too bad he's a runt. Too bad he's little. Yeah. Too bad it's this. Too bad it's that. Blah 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 blah. And I said, all right. The dog's prey drive's through the roof. Through the roof. So the dog has learned, not only had good prey drive, but they frustrated it because the dog is like, it's a very frustrated dog that can vent only one way, but you can hear the dog going, "Arr, arr." Everybody thinks that's great. Now, if you go back to the little Malinois puppy correction thing on Patreon, you'll understand what I'm talking about. That's why when we put out content, it's connecting the dots, you know. So he brings his dog out with no food drive, and Dylan was with me, and my son was with me, and I think my wife was with me. So we just made a circle around the dog. We're all sitting on the ground on the grass. I said, the dog's food drive is fine. And he's like, no. So I said, I'll bet you this puppy. If I can show you that the food drive is fine, you give me the puppy. He's like, fine. So I'm telling the story about the food drive. Yeah. So I sit down, I put the dog in there, it grabs my pants just instantly because we're sitting down. He goes, "Argh," and I go, "Argh," and the dog just stops. So the dog is in avoidance. The dog is like, ugh. And the kid's pissed. He's like, you're ruining that dog. I said, no, you're ruining the dog. And he said, well, now his prey drive's fucked. I said, it isn't. I said, it isn't. And if you know what you're doing, you can teach and stop something. Like the fact that you think that a correction is going to stop this dog from ever biting again. The dog's been bitten by his mother and his brothers, and he keeps going. Like, what is he telling you? This was my biggest eye-opener when I got to UK. All the PPD community who have pups, they're too afraid to correct it. Yeah, so stupid. And goes to a bigger picture. Yeah, well, that just shows that you don't understand how to train dogs. You know how to lion tame a dog. Build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up, bite. Fry it to out. It's not dog training. It's lion taming. Anyway. I digress. So this puppy is like, I don't know what to do, but he can't get out of this little circle, right? It's a little tiny, like the fucking dog's like that big. So I said, does anybody have cheese or hot dogs? And people like, I do. I said, listen, don't bring it over here and give it to me. I'm going to put my hand back here. Just give it to me on the low right there. So they give me some cheese and some hot dogs. I take a little piece and I put it in my hoodie pocket, right? So now the dog doesn't know what to do. So I take my fist and I put it out in the middle of the circle. And the dog's just bebopping around. He doesn't want to get near anything that he might bite or anything. But then all of a sudden you see this head snap. The dog's like, I don't know. And now you know that that dog just smelled the hot dogs or the cheese or whatever I had in my hand. So he comes over to it and he sniffs it. And I go right away. And the dog goes. Now he's interested. What drive did I use to build food drive? Prey drive. So we got hunt drive into prey drive, and now we've got a ton of curiosity. Does that make sense? So now the puppy comes over to it. I move it away. And this puppy's like, remember, he's not biting me. He's not biting me. Not biting me. Because he's been corrected for that, right? But he's really curious. So now he gets over here and I let him dig. I let him dig. I let him dig. And then I just move my hand back and he's backing up. He's backing up. And then he comes over again. So you don't want him to start biting your hand. So you have to understand that, yes, That's not the solution to the problem, but people who mimic that are going to teach a dog to bite hands. Does that make sense? I'm waiting for answers. They're just staring at me. Yep. Got it. Okay, good. So now your timing is to build that drive, to build that want, because there's no such thing as a suicide rabbit. The rabbit doesn't go boink, 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 jump right in the mouth. Doesn't happen. Dog's got to work for it, right? So now I've got this dog digging and digging and digging and digging. So I push him away. I use this hand to push his chest away. Not like this, but just push him away. Take it away, zoom. Take it away, zoom. Take it away, zoom. And he's digging, he's digging, he's digging. And I open my hand and he puts his hand in there and I go whoop and I close it. Yep. Whoop, I close it and move it away. Now this little fucking puppy will do anything for that food. So I put it behind my back and the puppy's going like this, going like this, going like this. And I bring it out and I just lift it up and he tries to get up, he tries to get up, he tries to get up. And then he sits, boom, I feed him. Just eats it, just eats it. And this kid is like, the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, it's called dog training. Look into it. See, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with teaching someone. I have a problem with people who are unteachable because they already think they're here and they're not even in the door. So the story gets better. So I don't want the dog to be associated with my hands, right? So I start taking my hands, there's nothing in it. So this one's kind of hot. So hot means you can still smell the food, right? But there's nothing in there. And there's nothing in this one. And there may have been, looking back, that I touched it briefly. So there may be, it might be a warm. So this is hot, this is warm, right? So I'm moving my hands around and then I stop, put my hands behind my back and the puppy's like this. And the puppy goes, Now I got hot dog in my mouth, right at the puppy. And the puppy goes, starts looking at my eyes, looking at my eyes, looking at my eyes, right? So he's like, well, it's great. He's got food drive, but you killed his prey drive. I said, give me a rag. Take the rag. He's a little reluctant. Same thing. He grabs it. All comes back to him, right? All comes back to him. Boom, boom, boom. Petting him, lifting him up. Boom, boom, boom. Got food in my hand. No, but that's Chris. That's everybody. That's everybody. That's everybody. That's not just this guy. It's everybody. So now the dog's got the tug or the rag, and he's just marching around like he's doing a hell of a stroke of business. He just thinks he's great. You know, he's like, da, da, da. So I'm petting him, but there's no growl now, right? So how did I correct him the first time? How did I correct him when he was coming after my arm and trying to bite it? Like his mama did. So now I'm going to teach this dog to out. So I go, out. And the dog lets go. And I start the hand, runs over to the hand, eats. Wait a couple minutes. Dog goes over and picks up the rag again. Starts going like this. I start to calm him down. Now I just start to say the word, out. And the dog lets go. Come over here. So dog's not diminished in any way in his aggressiveness, but it's clear now. It's not just doing something because it's like frustrated. The dog understands now. So I start having Dylan take the tug or the rag, and he goes 20 feet away. And the dog's sitting there looking at me. And so Dylan's got to do a little work. He's like, dog finally turns around, and the dog just goes, grabs, and I go, ah! And the dog spits it out and comes flying back to me, sits in front of me, and I spit food at it. And this kid starts crying. And I go, all right. So Dylan goes, this kid's crying, man. He's crying. And Dylan's got stories about this kid. Well, I don't know why. I don't really give a fuck either. So remember, he's all man, so he's a decoy, and he throws the fucking, and you can't fucking tell this kid he doesn't know anything. That's unkind. I'm a dick. So he's gonna fucking put a puppy down. He's throwing little girls in front of him. He's wearing a bite suit and he doesn't know it. Look, I have no problem helping that guy, but he doesn't want the help because he's certified and he's a dog trainer. So how the fuck do you get that message through? So anyway, time goes by. This kid goes off and cries a little bit. Yeah, that's right. And my buddy comes up to me and goes, listen, you just fucking destroyed that kid's world. I go, why? And he goes, well, you humiliated him. I go, why do you say that? He said, he came over to my van and he was crying saying, I feel like I don't know anything about dog training. And my friend goes, yeah, Chris has that effect on people. And that's the hardest thing now. You can't fucking tell people they're wrong. The minute I go to help someone with dog training who's a dog trainer, or even the public, they start fighting you. They start telling you you don't know what you're talking about. And the problem is they don't know what I know. And most people, you know, my friend was the training director there and he's letting this guy in a suit. I go, that's where the problem starts. Why, you know, I need a decoy. I said, make him earn it. Don't just fucking put a body in a suit. Why is he breeding dogs if he doesn't understand this? Because he's a dog trainer and he's full blown into it. He is all into it. Does that make sense? So it's really hard to teach somebody something because everybody gets the red ass about it. Everybody gets hurt about it. And when you see a lot of the shit that's going on, like the guy, I don't know what country the guy's from. He's got a lot of product in his hair, and he's just beating the piss out of a Malinois, saying, no, I see. No, I see. The dog cannot fucking win. And if I say something about it, I get hate mail. So you guys tell me, how the hell do we teach online? That's right. How can we teach online without offending, without hurting someone's feelings, and without telling the truth? Please, the floor is yours. You can. Any good questions on our YouTube?
No.
No. Nothing? De nada? So feedback is important. Feedback allows you to teach. So if you have an intelligent question like, I don't understand that, we got a chance to talk. We got a chance to understand. I get to see how you think by what you say. Yeah. 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 I get to see more by how you act. I get to see how you respond to things. Does that make sense? I get to show you something and I watch how you respond. So all temperament is measured under stress. So we got dude sitting in a bite suit, by the way, sitting down as a decoy in the crowd. Do you have any idea that you don't do that? If you're going to protect the crowd, you step behind the crowd or to the side of the crowd and you watch. And if the dog starts coming over, you intercept. Does that make sense? So no one's taught this fucking guy. You don't just put on your suit and go sit in a bunch of sheep. But that's not even why the dog was coming over. The dog heard my voice and was like, oh, okay, and started coming over. The dog was not in any kind of fucking drive. Just the sight of this dog made this kid throw Cindy Lou Who in front of him and use her as a shield. What are we doing? And he's certified. How can you certify? That's what the problem with certifications. They make fucking everybody's head swell. Yeah, I don't know. But we can't do that because, so one of the things we were talking about is Elliot's like, you know, when you when you talk shit about people, you do it on a live. You don't do it at the seminars because they're not there to defend themselves. There's no way at a seminar I'm going to start talking shit about people because they're not there to defend themselves. That's a cowardly thing. But if I'm here and I have something to say, I'll say it. And they can, I offer the chance for them to come on and talk about it. I offer that openly and freely. Please come on. It used to happen a lot. But we don't want that. It's just don't tell anyone that I'm doing something you disagree with. Everybody has to agree with everybody else. And that's just not the way to get shit done. It's just not. Does that make sense? So in that vein of context, what you guys are forcing me to do is to think more deeply about how I teach. So most of the time for, pre-COVID, it was come to Chris, pick up the leash, you're going to see some shit, and then you go home and you work on it. So I never had to describe it to people because they were always in front of me. This piece of glass right here stops me from being able to show you. So with that being said, what we're trying to do is to make sure that what we're saying has as little chance of being misconstrued as possible. So we go to that, like before we put something out, we go to that dry erase board, and it's great. It's great for Elliot. It's great for Shalonda. It's great for anybody who wants to learn, because you can sit there while we do this. And I know where we're going. And if I don't, I learn very quickly how I'm explaining it isn't making sense. And then what we do is we do it like a physics equation. We just keep breaking it down until we understand it so deeply that it's, you've already been down the rabbit hole. So when I talk today about avoidance behavior, what is avoidance behavior? Can someone tell me what avoidance behavior is? It's fun. It is fun. But it's oh shit. It's you can see people in their faces, so you're able to see someone who doesn't understand. Right, but it's also, avoidance is fear. It can be expressed in a range of way. Offering anything other than the behavior. Yeah, this is fantastic. When a dog is confused, it doesn't know what to do. Isn't that funny? No, Chelsea, avoidance is not always fear. That's so great. Look at that. Look at that. Look what's happening. Well, there shouldn't be a few definitions. I think there should be one definition with different phases in it. Does that make sense? Yeah. 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 Well, isn't that funny? It's coming over your way. I don't just say shit. Can't see it though. Can you post pictures of that? Post it on Patreon. Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna pick you off.
Oh no, don't worry about it. We'll do it. We'll do it after the thing. So we'll post them on Patreon, right? We're just talking about avoidance behavior. So how did this come up? So this video that that I'm working on right now, that I think I'm gonna pull the plug on for now. It started by saying, "Oh God, this is crazy." I started by saying, when people don't understand avoidance behavior and they think they see it, there are things that you teach and things that are genetic that your dog will draw your dog away from you. Can you give me some examples of that? So if your dog has high prey drive, there's an instinct. Yep, there's an instinct to have your dog. So what in nature and what do you teach that makes the dog go away from you? Snufaris, yep. Something that moves fast like a rabbit, yep. Or you throw a ball, right. That's right, Kim. Chasing rabbits, right. Sniffing. All of those things are things that if you allow them, they are more of a priority than your obedience. So that pulls the dog away. You allow or you teach and you reinforce that your dog, you're actually creating the value. That's what we did the video with Justice, the classroom with Chris one. So you have to change those values. Is that correct? If a thing has more value than you're not going to have what you want, right? So now that's a draw. So it pulls the dog away, right? The dog is drawn to it, right? So that's like it has gravitational pull, right? Okay. So what did we put that? I forget what I said. Yeah. So the other part of that was say, yeah, I was thinking about SDIT and volunteer training, how we allow other people to pet them and they're out in public and that completely removes it. Yes, that's right. So now what pushes the dog away? There's shit that pulls the dog away. What pushes the dog away? So it's double. It's double. So your dog who won't pay attention to you when there's a distraction now has maybe, with some dogs, maybe, Cindy, maybe. Janelle, we're here today. Well, yeah. So it repels the dog from you, right? Okay. But think about that. Anger from handler, causing confusion, avoidance, confusion. There it is. Where the dog goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Now the dog goes, I don't know what the fuck this person. If you've ever been, can you think of something that's absolutely crazy that someone has come up to me and said something and I'm like, wow, you've seen it, right? You got one right in your head? Write it on the board so I can say. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if I could say that.
Exactly. That's the first thing that comes.
All right, so people have come up to me like they really know me, and they tell me something that would put most of you in avoidance. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's mine. It was like the second day, and I was like, I'm an addict.
Yeah. So like Elliot comes up and she says she's a recovering addict. That was the second day I met her, and just so she comes up and she says, she just starts telling me. She's like, I'm a recovering addict. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Most people go, all right, that's good. Because they're scared or they don't know how to deal with it.
We saw it not too long ago.
Yeah.
When I said it, and she was like,
oh, really? So So when you see that behavior, when you feel avoidance behavior, it's probably something that is overwhelming you, probably something you don't understand. So what that does, I'll tell you this, I used avoidance behavior at the beginning of COVID. This guy coming back from Texas down in the March seminar that we did at Danny's, the one at the Alamo, whatever fucking thing that was. Yeah. So we did that, and this guy will not stop talking to Dylan and I. Will not fucking stop. And when we get to the airport, you got like 2.5 hours before your flight. So the guy's like, yeah, and it's pre-mask, right?
Yeah.
So the guy's like, yeah. And I go, and the guy's like, just walks away. That's avoidance behavior, right? Yeah. So I repelled him away from me. Okay. So when the handler starts being confusing, overcorrecting, untimely, angry, it puts the dog in avoidance behavior. Avoidance behavior. Nikki H. fucking Butler. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna see. This is why I don't tell you shit. You see that? Look at Nikki. She tips the bit, man. She tips the bit. You see that shit? Nikki, what you doing?
Oh, it's very
God, man, it's like training with Tori. Doing a seminar, and I'm like, so what is that called? I'm like, no, Tori, you work here. Like, that was, oh yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Okay, so when does avoidance behavior lead to the dog engaging you? There you go. Ponder that shit. Nikki, be quiet. Chris, be more specific. I want some details. Stop saying one word answers. Don't just guess. Tell me. I want you to think. I want you to think about it. I want you to go, like, I might not even give you the answer. You guys go and think about it. Start thinking in a new way. Start thinking more deeply about dog training. When does avoidance behavior turn into engagement?
Oh.
Whoa. Try some business on the past, the dog.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
No. Bless you, Elliot. Chelsea says.
Oh, thanks.
Nope. No. Avoidance behavior doesn't change. It's still avoidance behavior. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's still avoidance behavior, but it's in a different direction. Am I saying this right?
You're saying you're right, but I just thought of something different from yesterday. So
Write it down. Something. By the way, that was avoidance behavior turning into engagement. Do you see it? Don't throw it. I'm going to disagree. What do you mean you're going to disagree? Who's going to disagree?
Maybe.
You know, we should do a pay-per-view classroom on this. You think people would buy it? Think people would want to see it? I mean, it's probably like fucking 3 hours long.
Yeah. How I haven't finished this today. This isn't quite what I want to say.
Yeah, so you gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Right, but it's still,
But this would stop it from going back into.
no, it will, once if it does the job effectively, it's got all the freedom in the world so it can avoid.
Right, but I'm saying, that's why I said that.
All right, save it for the pay-per-view. No. Okay. So, so that's what I think when people get lazy. So one of the things I hate is lazy dog training. Mentally lazy dog training. I can't fucking stand it. So when you have people that are absolutely sure they know, because before we started doing this, I was absolutely sure I knew, right?
Yeah.
And now we sit there. How many hours was that? 3?
I don't know, it was a lot.
3 hours of deeply thinking about it. And it's just changed everything about how I see it. It's just so much more in depth. It's just like the corrections thing. Like you could chase corrections. It's like chasing your tail. You're never going to catch it, you know? It's just, there's a touch there, right? So what I can do is put up some videos of us working with something. But then I think if we work on avoidance behavior, right?
Yeah.
So say we did that. And then we work on the dry erase board, right? And I'm just doing this off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
And then we put together a video of avoidance in its different stages or understandings, right?
Right.
Then we can put that out there so people we can talk about it in real time without fear of the trolls coming and fucking, because I don't care about the trolls. But the thing that's effective about trolls is that when they come after me, that's fine. But when they go after other people, I'm going to get pissed off about that because that's just bullshit. But if we do that, I think that would be a good way to teach and get people thinking more deeply of it. And that would also give them more traction for when they do come to a seminar or they do have a private lesson here, that they would be ahead of the game. How do we get more information to people so they can understand and be more effective when they finally get in front of us? I think that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the only way. Anybody?
Chris has got an interesting.
What?
It's kind of. You see it?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not, but it's.
Yeah, it's there. But that's what I'm saying is, so here's the thing. What everybody else on the internet does is say, this is what you do. This is your collar. This is your dog. This is the technique. Fuck that shit. That's why if there's so many fantastic dog trainers, world-class dog trainers out there, why do we fucking have all of the problems with dogs and people that we have?
Yeah.
If everybody knows about breeding, then why do we have problem with breeders? If everybody knows about sheltering, then why do we have like, that's bullshit. These problems are answerable. They are, if you think about it and you understand it, you can figure it out, right?
Yep.
But people are changing the rules of what. Well, that's the other thing, Kim, is that I have a hard time with money. I really don't like money, because for me, talking to you guys and watching that brain grow and watching all of the things happen, that to me, Nikki, come on. What I'm saying to you is that if it becomes about money, you will start to mail in your morals. I am trying to figure out, how do I make a living and still give a fair product to people? That's one of those things that's really difficult. Yes, Nikki, I will work on it. Didn't you mute yourself? Did she mute herself?
That's what she said.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mute Nikki. Stop misunderestimating yourself. I don't even know what that means. I can't. She keeps moving up, so I can't catch her to mute her. Where is she? Fucking bitch. All right. So, I mean, if you're interested in a classroom, and you guys get to pick the topic. If you pick the topics by commenting, at least on Patreon, if you comment, then we get feedback. I want that feedback. I don't like lecturing to people. I like teaching people. The content you've been working on producing has gotten better and better. That classroom with Chris is amazing. Well, thank you. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It is not easy. And I fucking worry about it day and night, don't I?
Yeah.
It pisses you off, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
I just care. I care about it a lot, you know, especially as I get older. You know, people, you had said to me last night, you said, you know, you're not going to change people's minds. And I said, you know, the general pet owner, what are you shaking your head for?
That's not exactly what.
Okay, well then tell me exactly what you said. You got something to say? Say it. Chicken shit bitch. Let's go.
No, there's too much context.
Avoidance behavior.
Yeah.
I said to, yeah, what's the worst that can happen? He mutes you. Yeah, you get the Elaine. I said to Elliot, I said, I'm not interested in helping people that don't want the help. That's not something I'm trying to do. That's crazy. I'm not trying to get you to convert. I'm not trying to get you to do anything like that. But I do want, as my daughter says, I'm on the back nine of my life. So I'm not going to be here forever. I do want to make sure that there are people who can be honest and knowledgeable and be able to communicate about dog training, that there's people who are actually looking for dog training can go there. Because if that goes, then what are we doing? So put a price on that for me. That's not good. Yeah. You're making me feel ancient. Trust me. Trust me. Okay, so did you guys get the answer? We can have a lesson in drive building. It's less than a clock all the time. Okay, so maybe we'll put that together. We were also thinking about putting a pay-per-view, how to deal with the psychological, or how I deal with the psychological effects of being bitten by a dog, because a lot of people just don't understand it. And I think that would be something that if we did some video presentation on it, and because I'll probably cry on it, and it would be, you know, be very personal in it, but if it helps somebody, and then people could sign up, we could sell some spots to that, but then it would be there as a resource on Patreon for pay-per-view whenever somebody wanted to look at it. Does that make sense? I mean, it'll probably get bootlegged and fucking stolen, but whatever. So yeah, so what I'm saying is, tell me what you want, and we will, you know, try to put content together, because a lot of the content I put out, like I was just going to put this video out that led to the avoidance stuff. It's just way too deep. It's too, you know, I want to talk dog training, but we got to talk it at the level where people need it to be. Does that make sense? That makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Comments, questions, concerns, criticisms. Let's have them. If you want to come on, talk, you can. If not, then I will move on to my private conversations with video conferencing. Ooh, thank you for your time, kind sir. Well, it's not my time; it's your time. I'm here. You guys are everything. If you don't, what's really hard for people to understand is that someone teaching to nobody isn't teaching. Yeah, it's incredible. That's it. We're good. Enjoy your day. Yep, we're good. All right. We good. Thanks a million. Adios. Yep. Thanks, Chris. Always okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Your brain hurts. I love it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.